The shading grid. How to make a shading grid. To make this shading grid, you're going to need your drawing pencil, a kneaded eraser, which should be in your box, and a ruler, which probably will be see-through for you. Mine starts at the very edge is 0, but you want to make sure you check that out for yours. To make the grid, we have to make a 1 by 8 inch grid, and we have a 9 inch by 6 inch piece of paper. We want to put the grid so it's not touching on any of the sides. It's called the dot method to do that. I'm going to go in a 1/2 inch from this edge over and put a dot. Then I'm going to come down a little bit, and I'm going to go from the edge of the left side of my paper and put a dot a 1/2 inch in. I'll make those two dots connect so that I have a straight vertical line going up and down the side of my paper. That can be the far edge of my gridded piece of paper. Now I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the dot method. I'm going to put the 0 or the edge of my ruler right at the edge, and I'm going to put a dot 2 inches down. I'll go to the other end of my paper, and I will put a grid. I will measure from the edge of my paper down 2 inches, and I will connect these two. See the two dots on my paper here and here, both 2 inches from the edge of my paper, and this will make the top of my box. Your goal is to make a 1 by 8 inch box. Now that I've got these two on, I can measure from the edge of my box here down 8 inches and put one dot, down a little bit more and put another dot. If you don't do 2 dots, then your lines will end up being crooked. Oh, I think I might have measured that wrong. Okay, it's okay. Then you want to line your ruler up. And then you want 1 inch down. If you make your box longer, or I should say wider, it'll just mean that you have to do more work. So don't make it taller than it needs to be. Make it 1 inch by 8 inches. You can see I'm connecting the two dots that I put down 1 inch from the top line. And now I'm going to divide it up into 8 individual boxes. So to do that, I just put my ruler at the top of the line and at the very edge of my box. And I'm going to mark each individual inch. 5, 6, 7, and the last one will be 8. And then I'm going to do the same down here at the bottom. Making nice little dots. And then I'm going to divide my box up into 1 inch squares. In the end, I should have a box that is 1 inch by 8 inches and is divided equally up into 8 little nice 1 inch boxes. You also need to make sure that you clean up your paper using your kneaded eraser, or on the outside you can use your pink eraser too, and that'll work good. But on the inside of your box, you don't want to use anything but your kneaded eraser so it won't smear any of your work. All right, your kneaded eraser is nice because it can bend into any shape that you want to help erase things and get into little teensy areas. It's a professional drawing eraser, that's why you have a little one in there for you. Then you need to number them. And you need to put a title on the top. Oops, I should say shading grid. Like so.